Hey yo, hey yo, got the baby face going. Had to get a clean shave, clean cut. This is the first time, I'll tell you, the first time I've shaved my beard in probably 2 years. At least 2 years. Quit, buddy. Hopping on right now. Young Saturday session. Quit, man. Oh. Just read the description, just the sole purpose of pumping the numbers up. I want to get in the habit of, let me turn this AC off. Just the sole purpose of pumping the numbers up. I've dialed on a few Saturdays before. Seems like, to be honest, the contact rate's pretty high because I'm not catching people at work or, stuff like that. So, I just want to kind of make it a habit to do a little something over the weekend. If not calling, maybe doing some driving for dollars, getting my list pulled, getting my list organized, exported, skip trays, imported into the dialer, all that. Come on, buddy. That's enough. That's enough. My fault. Come. Dude. Down. Trip, man. But yeah. So gonna hop on right now, get a quick couple. It's not gonna be something crazy. I just went through my list. I got a list. I need to get some fresh data in here, man. It's been a while since I pulled or skip traced some fresh data and got it in here. But went through my old driving for dollars list, found one that I can still call through where it's worth my time. Got about 100 properties. I've dialed all these or tried all these at least once before. So it's going to be a lower contact rate, but I'm hoping to squeeze, maybe 5-6 contacts out within the next 30 minutes, which is still fairly strong, but, on the lower end. So let me go ahead and connect to the dialer. I do that by just calling the number that it prompts me to call on the screen. Throw it on speaker.
On your touchtone phone, please enter your PIN.
It gives me the PIN. Enter that. Go ahead.
Logged into the Mojo dialer. Please press the start button on your
That'll
screen.
connect me. Let me make sure I'm all ready to run comps and stuff in my other tabs. And my other tabs I have open is PropStream and Redfin. I like to run comps on Redfin as like kind of a secondary website, secondary platform, because in PropStream, the data isn't all the way up to date. It takes a little bit for the county clerk's office or whoever's recording it to get the information submitted, one, to the public, and then two, takes however long for PropStream to then gather the data and then provide it through their software. So you'll find, if you search on Redfin and you're looking for comps, you may come across a few sold properties in the area that aren't on PropStream yet because they might have sold within the last few weeks or the last month or two. It's usually about a couple months delay. So that's why I like to have it on Redfin, especially nowadays with the market so high. It could be a world of a difference between a property that sold 2 months ago and.
This is Manuel Omeli. I can answer the phone right now.
And 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? It's going to be a big difference. So kiddos, get a little practice in, you know what I mean? The last guy threw me off yesterday, had me thinking about it all night. I need to start practicing my script. And it's funny because during that call session, I was doing pretty much that. I was writing down common objections that I get, figuring out how to, the best way to respond to them. But I need to honestly just start practicing the opener. When somebody says yes, how do I reply to that? It's just so uncommon that you don't think to like practice it, or Like, it just really caught me off guard. So, I've gone over it a lot in my head, been speaking it out loud a little bit. I need to do way more practice, that's for sure. Role playing with my partner possibly, or whoever, and that way I'm not using the actual lead as a practice run. When the lead, presents him or herself, I can actually treat it like game time and not the practice.
Please leave your message for 832.
But hey, just wondering if you ever consider an offer on your property there. Yeah, I would. Great. Well, let me tell you, my partner and myself, we're looking to pick up a few properties in the area, and we are looking to pay cash. So, I don't know if you've given it any thought, but did you have a number in mind that you'd be hoping to walk away with? That's what my response is going to be. Good, man. It's pretty warm. I guess I got the doors closed. Let me know if you're seeing this. Let me know what you guys are trying to see. I'm trying to think of some other. I just released my little 3-part.
Hello. Please leave a message after the
My little 3-part mini series for my virtual driving for dollars process. I don't know. I've just been trying to brainstorm. I can do like a comping one, how I caught my properties, like I was just talking about, using both PropStream and Redfin. That way I can showcase like exactly what I'm talking about, the discrepancies between the two. Maybe if I, come across one that showcases that nicely, because it's not always that you're going to come across one that you're going to find. Hello? Not always you're going to come across one that it's going to be like that, where you have comps in PropStream, but you have better comps in on Redfin. Sometimes there hasn't been any recent activity in the area, and the most recent comp you have is the one from PropStream. So it's kind of particular, but I like to use it as kind of a fail-safe. So I'd like to find a property that showcases that well before I record a video and just like make it up, or am looking for one in the video. So kind of hold off on that.
Hello?
Hey, I'm sorry, Dale.
Who's this?
Dale, this is Derek. Sorry, I know this is a bit random, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on Barclay Street.
Well, how'd you get my number?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a software here that provides numbers for properties that we may be interested in. I just wanted to give you a quick call and wanted to see if you'd ever consider an offer on your property there.
Yeah, you and 30 other people.
And he hung up. All good. Not interested. Contact. Me 30 other people, because these properties not very appealing to the eye, I would imagine, because it's on my driving for dollars list. And that's why, all the pros or the gurus, whatever you.
I don't answer unlisted or name unknown calls.
Hello?
I don't have money for donations.
All right. Based off, I was getting ready to say, based off what I've gathered from the pros, seems like, yeah, and it makes just the most sense, regardless of whether or not these people are wanting to sell right now. These are the type of people that you're going to want to constantly follow up with on, like, however whatever type of interval you determine, every 6 months, every year, even if they tell you no or they're rude about it, like the last guy, um, because their property has deferred maintenance. And if they themselves aren't going to put the money and effort into bringing it up to speed in order to sell it on market, they will have to sell it to a cash investor or an investor, regardless. And it's going to have to go off market because these won't pass inspection. The properties on my Drive for Dollars list won't pass inspection. And that's the biggest thing is for the Driving for Dollars is like, is it in such bad condition that it won't pass inspection? Meaning that if they go to sell it on market and they have, open houses and somebody comes along, again, not a cash buyer, but a buyer that will need to take on a loan, a conventional loan, like a loan from Wells Fargo or.
Please leave your message for.
The conventional lenders, they are going to want a long list of criteria in order to adhere to their standards, which will then allow them to lend to the person. They're going to need.
Please leave your message for 7.
They're going to need, income, assets, and liabilities. Years of.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voice
of W-2s or 1099s if you're independent. They're not in the business of gambling or investing.
Please leave your message for 83.
They're more so in the business of sure things, right? Which is why they're so strict on who they lend to, because the risk factor isn't there.
For 83.
And one of the things on that long laundry list as well is the property that they are lending on has to pass inspections. So like I'm not going to go to a bank and say, hey, I want to buy this property. It needs a new roof because it's leaking and, foundation's cracked and, it's going to need like pretty much a full remodel. But like, look at the numbers, right? The numbers make sense. And I got it at a discount. So can you just like give me 80% and I'll put down 20%? They're going to say no, because first off, we're only for every reason that I just said, right? So they're only lending on properties that pass inspection.
I'm sorry, but the person
which gives them the peace of mind knowing that they're making a sound investment, risk-free, essentially. So, whereas, and that's, again, why these people with properties that are in such bad shape have to sell to
please leave your message for 9.
Have to sell to either a cash buyer or a buyer that has the backing of a private money lender or a hard money lender, right? Hard money being, short-term, high-interest loan, and then private money.
Please leave your message for 8329.
Private money. I wonder if my number's popping up as spam. I literally just bought this yesterday, though. Private money being, friends and family. Both of them are considered asset-based lenders, more so the hard money. I don't think you really consider private money lenders. I mean, I guess you could, but again, they're more so like friends and family, just acquaintances that is willing to give you some money in order to flip it and give them some returns. But a hard money lender is asset-based lender. So compared to a conventional lender like a bank or, like I'm just going to keep using the bank as an example. You wouldn't go to Wells Fargo and say what I was saying earlier. Hey, look at this deal.
Please leave your message for.
You would go to Wells Fargo, and I've never done it, but I'd imagine you'd say, hey, here's all of my documents. Here's all of my paperwork. Trust me, I'm good for it. Please give me 80%. I'll come up with the down payment of 20. Whereas an asset-based lender is specifically looking at the asset and the deal, the numbers. As long as the numbers make sense, that's all they need in order to make an investment. So it's not as risk-free as a conventional lender, but that's why it carried such high interest, which is also why, it's short term. Typically this is for.
Hello?
Hey, Catherine.
Uh-huh.
Catherine, how's it going? This is Derek. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I know this is a bit random, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on Quail Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick call and wanted to see if you would consider an offer on your property there. You ever considered selling?
Yeah, but right now it's not a good time.
No problem.
I'm fixing to have some surgeries and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, well, when would be, I guess, a more appropriate time for me to follow up with you?
I would say 2 months.
2
Because I'm going
months?
to have to go to rehab and all that stuff after the surgery.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
I won't be able to do much of nothing.
yeah, I hear you. Okay, well, just so that I, understand correctly, would you be ready to get going on it in 2 months, or would you be wanting to kind of, sell it in 2 months and be done with it in 2 months?
Oh, no, probably after all this, after I get recuperated.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, while I have you on the phone, I just kind of want to let you know a little bit about myself. My name is Derek. My partner and myself are actually just looking to pick up a few properties in the area, and we are looking to pay cash. So, with that, we can, pretty much make it as simple and convenient as possible, since we don't have to go through, jump through all the hoops like we would if we were kind of getting a loan on it. So, when you have
Well, how much do houses go for in this area?
I don't
Do you
know.
have any idea?
No, not off the top of my head. I would have to kind of do a little bit of research, just because every house is different, right? Depending on
different conditions. and all that.
exactly. So, if it's all right with you, I'd love to maybe follow up with you in a few weeks, just so that I can kind of get the information, so that I can start, running the numbers on my end, so that when, those 2 months pass and you are ready to start making some moves, we can get the ball rolling there and kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's hard to put a time on anything with this stupid COVID going on.
Yeah, I hear you. And with that, we kind of, since all that happened, we started to move to just doing things virtually. So, a lot of my process can be handled over the phone. I would just need a property description from you, and then I can just go ahead and look on my computer here, find out what properties are selling for in the area, and I can figure out exactly what I'd be able to offer you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't you give me a call back then?
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And this is a good number for you?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. And again, my name is Derek, and this is my number. If anything, happens to change on your end before I reach out, feel free to save it and reach out to me.
Okay. Will do.
All right. I hope you feel better, and, I wish you a speedy recovery.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon. I'm digging that one. I didn't push it. Sounded like she was kind of in the middle of something, or like at some supermarket. Plus, she's not ready to move right now. But those are the ones that turn into deals. I'm telling you. That's the one. She had surgery recently. Not ready to move forward with anything for another 2-ish months, as she needs to recover and rehab. Derek received permission to follow up with her in a few weeks to learn about the condition of the property, to determine if we be a good fit. I'm telling you, I feel it in my bones. That's a deal. Just the way that she's talking about it, her curiosity into it, sounds like she's had some recent hardships. Not to I really don't ever mean to come across like, oh, perfect, these people are in a shitty situation. It's a perfect opportunity for me to step in and take advantage of them. It's not that. truly, I will always lay out all of their options for them. And if it doesn't make sense or they're not wanting to move forward, I saw this on a video the other day and I want to take a second to talk about it. If you are wholesaling and you are not presenting them all of their options, or if it's a retail lead and it's not a wholesale deal for you and you're not trying to get them in contact with a realtor, all the referral fees aside, if you're not trying to actually solve these people's problems, then you're not in it for the right reasons, right? And if you're only in it to like lowball everybody and just hope that somebody's got, because that's what it is, right? I mean, that is essentially what it is. But you're lowballing them for specific reasons, right? And I always talk about the present cash or present value of cash. There is a present value. I want to make a video on this. There's a present value to cash and there's a future value to cash. Once you take in inflation and buying power into consideration, that is why cash offers are lower. Some people don't even realize why. Like some people will say, well, it's a cash offer, like it has to be low, but they don't really understand the mathematics or the philosophy behind it. Imagine if you had $100 bill today and you could buy something for $100 with it. Now, imagine if you, instead of buying something with $100 and you having $0, take that $100 and invest it. If you invested it, let's just say conservatively, and threw it into the S&P and got 8% gains over the course of the year, you would now have $108, which is why the present value to the cash was different than the future value. And using $100, it may not be like a perfect example because you don't actually see, somebody might hear that and be like, well, it's only $8. You might, but when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, and that's why people leverage their money. That's why people take on loans. Investors in real estate, they could buy a $100,000 home with the money in their account, but instead they leverage their money and they only put down $10,000, $20,000 and have a lender come in because the interest on that loan is lower. Let's say the interest is 3%, 6%, whatever it may be. If I could take the rest of my money that I would have spent on that property and invest it in the stock market, in other investment opportunities, as long as my gains on that investment are greater than the interest accruing on my loan, then it's worth it. I'm actually making more money in the long run. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but that's why cash offers are lower. It's not just because, well, it is because we need it at a certain price. We need to take into consideration the rehab, the buyer profit, our assignment fee, any closing costs, holding costs, any of like fees and commissions, anything like that. That's why it is lower, but it's also lower because there's a present value to cash. That's why perfect example, the lottery. I don't know how other states work, but California lottery, if you win the lottery and you hit 200 million, they'll give you two options for payouts. They're going to say, we can give you 150 million right now, lump sum, all in one check, or you can get the full 200 million, but we're going to pay you out over time, right? Which directly correlates to a cash offer versus seller finance when the seller carries the loan. Hey, I can give you 100,000 for the property right now in one lump sum check. Or if you don't need it all right now, I could pay you out over the course of the next 10 years and I can end up paying you 130,000. The math still works because again, I'm only going to put down, say, a $10,000 down payment as opposed to spending $100,000. I'm only going to put down 10, and that leaves me $90,000 as an opportunity to invest and make more gains on that 90,000, so that by the time that 10 years tolls, I would have made far beyond the $30,000 difference between the cash offer and the seller finance offer. Anyways, I'm excited about that one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it quits right there because I'm pretty much halfway through the list and I want to end on a good note. I'm going to put my notes in there, set myself a follow-up to hit her maybe in like a week and a half, just so that I can get the ball rolling. I told her a couple weeks. I kind of left it open-ended intentionally It's another thing. Always cut the time in half. She says she's not ready in 2 months. I would have called her in a month had I not asked if it was okay if I follow up with her in a few weeks. So I'm going to call her in like a week and a half, just so that I can be top of mind, have that conversation with her, build a little bit more rapport, put in that effort to build a relationship with her as well, and not just treat her like an ATM machine. She's clearly going through something. I want to figure out what it is. I want to figure out what kind of surgery she had. You know, is she falling behind on her medical bills? Is this something? Is a cash offer on her property going to put her in a better position than she was before? Or is it just going to add more stress to her life? Is it going to add more strain on whatever body part she received surgery on, because now she's having to move around a bunch? You know, what is it? And if that's the case, maybe I hook her up with some movers so she doesn't have to do anything. It's all hands free. Maybe there's so many different ways that you can assist these people, and help them through the situation, so that it's not you treating them as an ATM machine, but rather you solving their problems. I'm going to end on that one. Happy Saturday to everybody. If you like the content, do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you want to stay tuned for future content. I plan on going live. I pretty much do go live at least one time a day, sometimes up to 4. I go live every time I cold call. I go live every time I hit my lead follow-ups. I have a playlist that's documenting my first deal. That one set to close in about 2 weeks. I just need to make sure that the tenant is out in time. And I also am going to start periodically recording my screen for a little mini series. I just dropped a virtual driving for dollars one. So that way you can actually see what I'm doing on the computer, and you don't have to stare at my ugly mug the whole time. Anyways, appreciate everybody who tuned in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love. Peace.